pop out the little tree parts. We've got 4 plastic studs that are strapped in here. We need to find, yeah, these actually get used on the front, so cut these off. Don't throw them away because you're going to need them. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and we actually worked with Axial on this truck starting back last fall, and it will hold a standard 6-cell shotgun pack, nickel metal hydride, so that's an option. The same tray will basically hold just about, I mean, if you wanted to, you could put one of our, if you really wanted to make this a hot rig, you could put a 3-cell 5250 in it if you wanted to. That pack's the same size as a 6-cell shotgun pack, so you're not limited to what you can run for packs in this thing. You have quite a few options, which is really nice. Okay, so basically, here's your tray. This is kind of the stretcher, as some other guys were calling it, and I can see why now. It does look like a stretcher. Let's get this positioned right. We got the vehicle sitting. We're going to do this the way they've got it sitting in the manual here. The little X area on this is going to be towards the back. Now what we actually need to do is, it looks like they've got, it's kind of hard to see their lid here, how they did this. But it looks like what we need to do is pull those 2 front screws out, and we need to find some flathead screws that are really long, and I'm wondering what bag those are in. Optional battery mounting. And it's not giving us the location of the screws for that. That would be these in this extra bag, where the wheel wrench is. So, in the wheel wrench bag, you'll find the wheel wrench, some E-clips, and you will find 3 really long screws. Those are going to be your optional battery tray screws. Let's get rid of the bag. See, I'm doing all the hard work for you. Figure this all out and walk you right through it. Pull your original 2 screws out of that radio box, and we'll have to, this will get pulled out later because we'll have to install the radio gear, but I want to show you basically how everything goes on when we do the radio install. We'll show what it takes to go back and pull everything out. Take those 2 screws, set them aside, you're not going to need them. These spacers for the front battery tray all have a cone end on them. It's kind of tapered. That is meant to fit down into, I'm going to turn the light on here so you can see this a little bit better. It's a tapered end. It's meant to fit down into the taper that's on the battery box and such. Now this is going to be kind of a tricky little step here because we got to snake these in here while we're doing this. Use the front 2 holes. Drop that one down in. Drop that one down in. Grab your Phillips. As I was saying with our battery packs, the great thing about this now, these packs are great for scale rigs, because if you plan on running in the mud, like a lot of guys do with their scale trucks, running in the water, running in the snow, whatever, you don't have to worry about the pack getting wet. It's not going to corrode the tabs, it's not going to corrode any of the wires. It's perfectly watertight. And if you happen to submerge, like I've seen some of the guys here in Minnesota do, don't worry about it. Your pack's going to be fine. It's not going to hurt it. It will be alright. And we'll get this front one in. It doesn't drop through that hole at all. So it's got to be threaded through the battery brace itself. We'll get our guy lined up here. Okay, we'll thread this one down. Oops, we need to remove that one. I didn't pay attention. We need to put the battery box, or the battery metal tray on before this one goes on. I was wondering why there was no taper in the top of the plate. Just quick run that one back out. Mile long screw. Gotta watch those arrows and lines in the instructions manual. That's the key. Okay, grab your metal battery plate. Put the axial side up. And you'll notice that there's 2 holes and then there's guide holes on the sides. Line those all up. We just knocked our tube out, but we'll get that. Okay. And put that back in there. And we'll run this bad boy back down here again. Okay, I got that one in there. We need a short 893 for the back. And that will just go right in there. Get your guide pins snapped in place. Pull that up tight. Okay, then what you can do is take your Velcro battery straps and they work just like that. So basically what you want to do is thread down to pull them back, and then up, and then basically back over like that. Now I would suggest that you also to prevent the battery from actually sliding back and forth, there is the cage itself, but you'll notice even like with this battery there's a little slop. What I would recommend is a strip of Velcro on the tray, a strip of Velcro on the bottom of your battery pack. Done deal. You don't have to worry about shifting and bouncing. And we'll run this one down and in. Oh, I did that backwards. Down and in and through and over like so. That's going to be your battery hold down. You can pull those tight like so. Plenty of room for thicker batteries, bigger batteries, whatever. There you go. That's the battery mount and then the front radio box. We will clear this stuff aside and we're going to go on to step number 40 and